Pogaste, Ayui, Adilogi Yari, Mvskoke Yari, Hayui, Idolwa Hojivandega, Ayui. Modalagi Dari, Maneda, Yamane, Iganalega, Takaboga, Hayui, Idolwa, the Managana, Ulagadonga, Hayui, Hojivandega, Akfaski Dalwa, Luyaga Dalwa, Okcha Dalwa, Akfaski Dalwa, Luyaga Dalwa, Elabi Dalwa, Yaman, Igana, Boyagadi, Hayui, Banaga, Majority is to Lokia, Hitia, Sajafar, because they don't do it. Was Banaga, all the age, but I knew stairs, but it was a market. What else is there? Amen. Yes, because it's good.
I've been asked to give a few words about the historical moment that we're in and the significance for this moment in history. Many thanks to the Park Service who supported our leadership and fellow Mvskokvlke in laying out the luminaries that you see out there today. There's 857 of them, each of them representing a man, woman, or child lost at this spot, lost in this space, this sacred space. We've heard the stories of the atrocities that were committed here. We've heard the stories of why we have a sense of the number being 857. Approximately 300 folks were lost after the battle itself, but in terms of the bodies that were counted, the 557, those bodies were counted because of the tips of the nose that were taken from our men, women, and children by Andrew Jackson and his soldiers. Further, we know that the skins of many of our people were made into horse bridles for the soldiers' horses. Terrible, terrible atrocities. True desecration of this sacred site. We talk about the sacred nature of this site. The stronghold of the towns that Jay spoke to, and whose ancestors he spoke to by calling their names. It was a collection of some of our fiercest defenders of who we are as a people, of our culture. And it was connected to a larger effort to defend who we are as a people. That's what the Red Sticks believed in when they gathered together to make this the last stronghold and the face of non-Indian assimilation and non-Indian destruction of our culture and our values. We talk about the warriors lost today. The people that gathered here were fighting for values and were warriors of all that means to be Mvskokvlke. And that means beyond just fighting. That means a way of life, a way of living with your fellow animals and the land in a way that's truthful to Creator and Dokka Miko. Truthful to the teachings that were given. That's the stronghold that was being fought for here. That's what made this land sacred. But those atrocities and those desecrations desecrated that sacred nature of the land. We are here today to negate and to annihilate that desecration. Instead, we're here to gather in consecration. Consecrate the true spirit of Mvskokvlke, the true spirit of respecting our fellow human beings, respecting our matrilineal way of life, all the things that were sought to be taken from us at what some call a battle, which is at what is more appropriately called a desecration. We annihilate that desecration today through consecration. In the year before this desecration, Jackson was on a march for a year long, burning and plundering Creek tribal towns throughout Alabama and beyond, in an effort to break the backs of our spirit and our way of life, to open up these lands, all in Alabama and beyond, for further settlement of the expanding population of the new United States. This was the culmination of that campaign to burn all of our towns. And this was the last stronghold. This battle making Andrew Jackson one of the most famous figures in the United States and leading to his ascendancy to President of the United States and leading to his ability as president to implement the Removal Act of the tribes, not just in Creek country, but all throughout the United States, to be moved to Indian Territory. This was the last stand before that, and that's what happened afterwards. So I'm not here to say there was never warfare before Horseshoe Bend, but the Upper Creeks and traditional Creeks had a sense of how to integrate and absorb other peoples, other tribes, other non-natives. That was in stark difference to the economy that our people were being asked to adopt. The Upper Creek never adopted that type of chattel slavery. But after Horseshoe Bend, we were forced to sign a treaty surrendering 20+ million acres of land. We all talk about how big our reservation is in Oklahoma. Our reservation is a little bit more than 3 million acres in Oklahoma. You think about 20 million. And that in itself represented a shrinkage of our original homeland. We had to surrender our land, and that those lands were immediately opened up for settlement by the chattel slavery economy of the southeastern United States. This was a watershed moment in global history, and the Upper Creeks fought against it. The Upper Creeks were on the side of dignity, on the side of working with one another, integrating through our clan system in a sensible, measured way. That's what was being fought for here. And that's what, for the short term, was lost. Let me talk about what was won. And the history books often used to teach about Horseshoe Bend as the end of something. But testament of all of us being here today, it clearly was not the end of anything. Our tribal towns remained. Our culture remained. Our people remained. Our blood remained. But our ideas remained as well. The sacrifices and the loss of life of those 857 have provided light and life for us through all of our challenges moving forward. The battles we fight today to protect our culture and protect our way of life, protect our sovereignty. There's a direct through line to the lessons that were given to us by these brave folks who lost their lives here, protecting what is most dear to us. I too, like so many of us, have heard that saying, well, can never go back. We left, but never go back. Well, I can understand why that was said. I can think of nary a more traumatic event than what happened here 210 years ago. Burned into our conscience, burned into our DNA. How could we have any other solution but to never go back? Yet here we are. Here we are 210 years later, and a renewed commitment to protect our way of life, to protect what's most important to us. You can only think about what was in the mind of the people that were lost here as they were listening to Mvskoke, telling them to stay and fight for everything you believe in. In each of us, my mom used to say, in each of us, there's something called Mvskoke, as the spirit of Mvskoke. Each one of us has a piece of Mvskoke inside of us that taps into Creator's spirit. As the sun sets and these luminaries show their light, let's please think about Mvskoke that guided their efforts, as well as the Mvskoke in each one of those men, women, and child that shone the way as they fought and sacrificed. And let that Mvskoke shine the way for our future as we fight to protect everything that means to be Mvskoke. And if we do that for generations to come, we will continue to be here, continue to be part of these lands, continue to be the story of these lands. If the Creator is willing and the creeks continue to rise. But
here we are, still fighting the same battles we did 200 years ago or longer. And we're still Mvskoke strong people. And we're getting stronger. And we're growing. We're strong. A lot of the states that we go to, the people that we see, that's one of the things we want to do is educate them. That's what we do, educate all these people who we are. But it takes all of us.
Today is about not only remembrance, but it's also about forgiveness. Because I firmly believe if you can forgive somebody, then you're better off. We shouldn't leave this place with a hardened heart. We need to leave this place remembering what our ancestors did, what they sacrificed us for, and use that to propel us forward to do more for the nation and forgive what happened here on this hallowed ground.
Oh, oh,